Hello guys, so we are back again. In the previous session we have completed partial differentiation, and after completing that we have told that we will start with the maxima and minima, which is a part of, okay, you can say the sub part of partial differentiation. And here two things you will study in this chapter. The first thing will be uh, first derivative test of maxima and minima, and second order derivative test of maximum and minima, and then one more thing which you will study, Lagrange. Okay, we will keep that for now. The second thing we will not focus on that. First we will finish the first order maximum first order differentiation, okay, to check maximum and minima, and second order differentiation, partial differentiation, to check maxima and minima. But before starting with the session, hope you have subscribed the channel so that we can bring more engineering content for you guys. Now, before starting with the session, the first order derivative test, okay, for local extreme values, which we will study in this lecture. Okay, it's very easy and it is very similar to what you have encountered in class 12th or in your earlier classes. Now let's start with assuming, okay, but just understanding simple things. If I say there is a curve like this, I suppose there is a curve. We will go with the simple definition, and then we will move on to the advanced things. Suppose I have a curve like this, okay, and if I take this part of the curve, and this is suppose a function f of x comma y, this curve, it has many points and it includes this area, and suppose at certain point in this function, okay, at f of a comma b, I am getting this value, this peak value, f of a comma b, then what you will say, that no matter, you will just say that this f of a comma b is the maximum possible value, okay, which this function can attain, right? Similarly, if I take this curve and if I take this ring, which is probably some function f of x comma y, and here this part, if I substitute f of a comma b, I get this tip. Now if I ask you what you can tell about this, you will tell that f of a comma b is probably the local minima of this function f of x comma y. Although the main function, this parabola, is going upward, but since we are considering this ring, all interior points inside it will always be less than, okay, always be greater than this f of a comma b. And similarly, and vice versa, here f of x comma y, if I include this part, if I take this function, this part, all the points interior of x comma y, if I suppose I take this point, or this point, it will always be less than f of a comma b, which is in this case maxima, which is peak of the parabola. Now since we have understand the graphical meaning of simple maxima and minima, let's just derive some basic things. Okay, I'm not going to go with the first derivative test of maximum minima directly. I'm going to explain you the basic things which you should have crystal clear in your mind. Now let f of x comma y be defined on region, on what region? On region R. Now here I can take wherever I want f of x comma y. I can take here, but provided that part will then become my interior region, where I will identify my extreme values, that is maxima and minima. And okay, let f of x comma y be defined on a region R containing point a comma b. Now a comma b is a point. Here it is different, here it is minima, here it is maxima, so the difference is very clear. And so we are assuming that a comma b is some point. In this case it is the local minima, in this case it is the local maxima. Now what we can say by observing the function f of a comma b. What f of a comma b? If suppose there is function f of x equals to sin x plus cos x, then what you will, f of x comma y equals to sin x plus cos y, then you will substitute in place of x a and in place of y b, and then what the value which you will get, it will be what, f of a comma b. So f of a comma v, which in this case will be what, greater than all the values of x comma y, which is then what we will say, then it is a what, maxima. And f of a comma b is less than f of x comma y, then it is a minima. But after this, okay, after these things, okay, when you will do questions, you will find that these things are not that much important. The process through which you have to solve all the questions in engineering maxima and minima is very important. Okay, you have to just keep that in your mind. The pattern in which you have to solve the maximum and minima type questions, which are based on first order derivative test and second order derivative test, to identify local maxima and minima. Now what we can do, let's move on with the first derivative test for local extreme values. So let's move on. Let me take the next page. So what we can say, the first derivative test for local extreme. This test you might have studied in your class 11th or 12th, but you may not recognize. So I will just remind you what were the things important in this first derivative test for local maxima. If suppose, if I say let f of x comma y has a local maxima or minima, local maxima or minima. So now I am confirmed that it has some maxima or minima, that function has some maxima or minima. Then point, okay, at point what, at point a comma b, of, okay, now here the point should be in its domain. Like the ring, when I just consider the interior part of the ring, okay, the point inside that, okay, which we will consider for understanding that whether this point is a maximum point or minimum point. Now what we can do, and its partial differentiation, partial derivative or differentiation exists, then f of x a comma b should be equal to 0 and f of y a comma b should be equal to 0. Now what this point want to convey us, if I say that there is a function, whatever it may be, if it gives you a maximum minima value at some point a comma b, which belongs in the interior of the function or the domain of the function, by interior of the function I mean domain of the function, then its partial derivative will for 100% will exist. And if you do f dash fx, okay, fx, which we call partial derivative of f of x comma y with respect to x, and if you substitute instead of x comma y a comma b, then it will always give you 0. It should be always be equal to 0. And similarly goes for if I take a function x comma y and partially differentiate it with respect to y and replace x comma y with a comma b, then it will also be equal to 0, because at a comma b the point is attaining maximum minimum. But in this case, in this, while explaining, I have told that it can achieve anything. For our general statement, we have assumed the function achieves local minimum, maximum, whatever. But the condition is that the partial derivative will exist, and when we substitute that stationary point, okay. Now here one more word, stationary point comes. Stationary point. Stationary points you will come across. Stationary points are nothing but when you put these values a comma b and solve them. If you solve this f of x and f of y simultaneously, then you will get a comma b. A comma b, as I have mentioned, is what, maximum minima, local maximum, local minima. But here in this case, since I am deriving a general statement, so if we solve this f of x and f of y, if suppose, now when stationary point will be important for you, suppose if I give you two functions, and if I tell you to find the stationary points, it is nothing but you have to find the maximum minima point. What you have to do, you have to partially differentiate the function with respect to x, partially differentiate the function with respect to y, and then do what, simultaneously solve them and get what, a comma b. But here, since when I am deriving this f of x comma y, here I have mentioned there is local maximum and local minima. So you already know a comma b at this point, local maximum, local minima are you are getting, and which is nothing but your stationary points, okay, which belongs to the function domains, and its partial derivative will exist, and if you put these two values, the partial derivative will become equal to 0. That's it. That is the first derivative test for local extreme values. Now you will come across one more term, which is saddle point. Saddle points are, okay, it is a critical point. It is a critical point. But suppose there is a curve like this. I know here there is minima and here there is maxima. But if I suppose I have some point here, then you cannot tell whether it is a maxima or minima. It might be attending maxima, it might be attending minima. So it depends. So in this case, these points are called what? Saddle points. Saddle points, and the condition to identify saddle points we will study in second derivative test for local extreme values. Now let's see the second derivative test for local extreme values, which is more mathematical compared to this one, because here we just understand the condition that if a function is having maximum or minima at some point a comma b, then its partial differentiation with respect to x, with respect to y will exist, and we know where the maximum and minima is. And we studied about saddle points. It is a critical point where you cannot say whether it is attending a maxima or minima. That's it. And the second thing, the a comma b points can also be called as a stationary points. Stationary points are what? Stationary points are a comma b points. And how you can get stationary point from the given function? If you differentiate the function with respect to x partially, and then with respect to y partially, and then solve them simultaneously, you will get a comma b. These all the things were from first order derivative test for local extreme values. Now we will come across the second part of this, which is what? Which is second theorem, you can say second derivative test for local extreme values. What are the things which you will study in second order derivative test? The first thing which you will study, as I mentioned, it is more mathematical compared to what the first derivative test was. Here you will have direct things which you need to memorize, straightforward. If you know those rules, then you will be able to solve the question. If you don't know the rules, you will not be able to solve the question. The first thing, if you have a function f, which is nothing but f of x comma y, has, if I say has local maxima. What? Maxima a comma b. At what point? A comma b. Then what it will be? F of x is less than 0. This is the condition. And f of x into f of y minus f of xy is always, the whole square is greater than 0 at a comma b. But now you should note that to apply the second derivative test, you need a comma b. How you will get the a comma b? If you know the function, you will partially differentiate it with respect to x, then again partially differentiate it with respect to y, solve them simultaneously, get 2 points a comma b. Right? So we know this, how to get a comma b. Now the second thing was f has a local maxima. Now we got this from first derivative test. Now what we will do, we will do the second derivative test with respect to x only. What this means? What this means is partially differentiate dou f by dou x with respect to x, which will give you dou square f by dou x square, right? Similarly, f double y is nothing but dou square f by dou y square, and similarly this thing you have studied in partial differentiation, that what this is nothing but dou square f by dou x dou y. Now we are familiar with these terms, so we know what actually the constituents are to get the that at this point maximum minima exist. So what our thing is, we need to find the points a comma b, which are the stationary points. If we know that, we will again differentiate the function f of x comma y, check whether it is less than 0. If it is less than 0, we will get a condition which belongs to the first case, that is f of x has local maxima at a comma b. Then what we will do, f of x comma f of double x f of double y into minus f of xy the whole square is greater than 0. We will apply, if this satisfy this condition, finding all the three constituents, then we will say at a comma b local maxima exist. Now then what you can say, what I can say from the first derivative test, what you can say here, there we can say about that particular function at a comma b maxima, and at a comma a minus b the function will attain a maximum. Here we can tell at exact point whether the maxima will exist or not. There we are talking with respect to the function, here we are talking with respect to a point. But before talking with respect to a point, we need to first get the point which we will get from first derivative test for local maxima or local minima. After doing this, the second case is similar to, what will be the second case? F has local minima at a comma b if f of xx is greater than, now here it is not great, here it is less than 0, here it is greater than 0, so you should keep this in mind. And this condition, f of xx f of yy minus f of xy the whole square should be what, greater than 0. Yeah, both the conditions are same. Here the conditions are different. F double dash is less than 0 in this case, and f double dash x is greater than 0 in this case. So keep this in mind, because many students forget this condition, so I am repeating again. F double dash is less than 0 in this case where it attains maxima, and here f double x f double y minus f xy the whole square is greater than 0, and here f double x is greater than 0, and f double x into f double y minus f of xy the whole square is what, greater than 0. Both the second conditions are both similar in first and second, and the first condition differs, so keep these things in mind. Now we will see some third condition. The third condition which you will see is f has saddle point. I told you saddle point we will study in detail. Saddle point at what, a comma b. Now here we will not talk about f of x comma y, we will just, we need to get the f of x double x, but we will not analyze it instant. We will analyze the second part, which is f double x into f double y minus f xy the whole square is whether less than 0, greater than 0, or what is the condition. So what we are going to do in this case, we will just gonna check f double x into f double y minus f xy the whole square is less than 0. We will check this condition. If this condition occurs, then directly you will say at a comma b it is a saddle point. Now fourth condition. The fourth condition is test of, we will call this test of inconclusive at a comma b. What happens in this condition is, if f double x f double y minus f of xy the whole square is becoming equal to 0. In this case find some other way to determine the behavior of a function at a comma b. So the test of inconclusive says at a comma b, if f double x into f double y minus f xy the whole square is equal to 0, then in this case we have to go with other way to check what, the nature, whether it is maximum, minima, whatever it is attending at that point. But in first derivative test and second order derivative test question, this condition questions will not arrive only. So we are going to play in the three things, which is the first, second and third condition. Now we are done with the theoretical part. Now we want to simplify the things which you need to do. The first thing which you will do is solve dou f by dou x equal to 0 and dou f by dou y equal to 0 simultaneously to get stationary points. Now what we are going to do, we are going to simplify the things by giving them names. We will call P as dou square f by dou x square. We will call Q as dou square, let's more simplify this instead of doing this. Okay, let me take the next page. We will call P as dou f by dou x. We will call Q as dou f by dou y. We will call R as what? Dou square f by dou x square. We will call S as dou square f by dou x dou y, and T as dou square f by dou y square. So you have to keep these three F, P, Q, R, S, T to in your mind, so that to remember all the formulas f double x into f double y minus f x y the whole square becomes simple for you. Then what will be the modified formula for the maxima? Maxima it will become R and T minus f double x into s square should be greater than 0, and in case of minima it was what? RT minus s square, again greater than 0, but here if you remember R was what? Less than 0. Here if you remember R was greater than 0. And in the saddle point, RT minus s square was less than 0. We don't talk about this condition here. And in inconclusive test, it is nothing but RT minus s square is equals to 0. We don't talk about R nature here also. So we are done with the theoretical part. So in this session we will take some questions for your understanding, then we will end up the sessions, because the theory part takes time to digest, but the questions will be very simple, that I can guarantee for this session. So the question is as follows. The first question which we are going to encounter is this question, which says find all the stationary points of the function f of x comma y equals to x cube plus 3xy square minus 15x square minus 15y square plus 72x, and examine whether the function is a maxima or minima at those points. First, what you have to do, you have to write this f of x comma y equals to whatever they have given, x cube plus 3xy square minus 15x square minus 15y square plus 72x. After doing this, what was our P? P was dou f by dou x. We need to get the stationary point, that is our first thing. So if you differentiate this with respect to x, what you are going to 3x square plus 3y square, right? And here what you will get 30x, and here plus 72. Now if we go for the Q, which was what? Dou f by dou y, it is nothing but 6xy minus 30y, and rest will be 0. Now what was the third thing which we used to find? R, PQR. The order is PQR, which is dou square f by dou x square. So we are doing nothing but we are going to differentiate this thing again, which is 6x minus 30. And the last thing, no sorry, not the last thing, QRS. S was what? Dou square f by dou x dou y. So we are going to differentiate y. You can differentiate x also with respect to y, as I have told you in partial differentiation. Dou square u by dou x dou y is equal to dou square u by dou y dou x. If we differentiate it with respect to x, we are going to get 6y. This will become 0. So only 6y will be our answer. t is differentiating y again, which is dou square f by dou y square, which is nothing but 6x minus 30. We got all the values which we required for second order derivative test for maxima and minima. But before going to that thing, we will solve dou f by dou x equals to 0 and dou f by dou y equal to 0. Since they are telling find the maximum minima, so I know that maximum and minima will exist, and if it exists, then the partial derivative with respect to x and with respect to y as per first derivative test should be equal to 0. Simultaneously we will solve. What we can do, we can divide p by what? P we can divide by 3. Divide p by 3. What we get? X square plus y square minus 10x plus 24 equal to 0. This is our first equation, we can say. And divide q by 6. What we get? xy minus 5y equals to 0. This is our second equation. Here you can see we can take y common. Okay, don't take it second condition. We can take y common. X minus 5 equals to 0. We are getting y equals to 0 and x equals to 5. Now I am getting x equals to 5. If I put x equals to 5 in this equation, I will get two y values which will be belonging to the stationary points, which is x comma y1, x comma y2. And if I put y equals to 0 in this equation, I will get two x values which will x1 comma y and x2 comma y, where y will be 0. So which one is more comfortable as per what do you think? Y equals to 0. So put y equals to 0 in, we will take the first one in 1. If I do that, what I am going to get is x square, this y will become 0, minus 10x plus 24 should be equal to 0. If I solve this, I will get x minus 4 into x minus 6 should be equal to 0, giving me x equals to 4 and x equals to 6. I got these two values. So I got two stationary points. As I mentioned, putting y equals to 0, I got two stationary x points. So the points are 4 comma 0 and 6 comma 0. Okay, are two stationary points. Now what we will do, we will find the y stationary point with for this x. Put x equals to 5 in 1. What we are going to get? We are going to get, if we put x equals to 5, we are going to get 25 plus y square minus 50 plus 24 should be equals to 0. If we solve, this will be what? 25, and this will become minus 1, which will move here, and we are going to get y equals to plus minus 1. So here we are getting y two values, which is y equals to 1 and y equals to minus 1, which are the possible stationary point with x equals to 6. So 6 comma 1 and 6 comma minus 1 are other stationary points. Now, so all stationary points are, what are the stationary points which we found? 4 comma 0, 6 comma 0, 5 comma 1 and 5 comma minus 1. No, wait, this was we put x equals to 6, 4 is 24, x equals to 6 should be, okay, sorry, we put this value x equals to 5, not, so this is 5 comma 1, 5 comma minus 1. These two values were with respect to the 0, and these two values where with respect to this x equals to 5. Hope I made all the everywhere correction wherever I mentioned these 2 points, and here 5 comma 1 and 5 comma minus 1. So these are all the stationary points which we have. Now what we are going to do, we are not going to do calculate all the things slowly. We are going to make a graph which you will make a habit of making in these type of questions whenever they ask you. What you have to do, we have to draw this graph, draw this chart or column, whatever you can say. The first will be points, the second section will be for r, which is what, dou square f by dou x square, and after this the section will be s, will be dou square f by dou x dou y, and after this what you are going to draw, t, which is dou square f by dou y square, and after this what you are going to draw, you are going to check r nature, and then lastly what you are going to do, conclusion. Although the lines I have not drawn straight, but you should focus on what the process is. Here dou square f by dou x square, what it was nothing but 6x minus 30, so 6x minus 30, write it here. Dou square f by dou x square is what, 6y, write it here. And here it was 6x minus 30. Now if I put here all the stationary points, the stationary points were what? The stationary points, we know that it is 4, 0, 6, 0, 5, 1 and 5, minus 1. For 4, 0, what it will give me? It will give me minus 6. If I put x equals to 4, I am going to get minus 6 as my answer. If I put here, I will get 0. If I put here, I will get minus 6. So if I observe what I have here, okay, I forgot to take one thing in the graph. This bracket is RT minus S square. RT minus S square, you can take this bracket, and there must be one more bracket for R. Okay, just I should have made it here before it, but fine. RT minus S square you have to check. So it is what, 36, which is greater than 0, and you know R is nothing but this value. I can say it is less than 0. Here I don't have place, it is less than 0, and so conclusion is what? It is what, maxima. Maxima is when R is less than 0 and this is greater than 0. Here what you can see, it has 6 value, this has 0 value, and this has 6 value. If I substitute 6, 0, my answer is what, 36, which is greater than 0, and here if you observe, it is 6, which is greater than 0. So here it will be a what, minima. You can see here 0 is coming, here 6 is coming, and here 0 is coming. So minus 36, which is less than 0. But if RT minus S square become less than 0, then what we will say? It is a saddle point. Saddle point. We are going to write a dash here because we don't talk about R in this case. Similarly 0, minus 6 and 0 appears here. And what we have, minus 36 less than 0, and here we will call it saddle point. We are going to write a dash here, and we are done with the column which we need to make. After this, what do you have to write? What do you have to write? Extreme points. Extreme points 4, 0 and 6, 0. Extreme points means where maximum minima are attained. So I know 4, 0 and 6, 0 are the two possible points where maximum minima will attain. 5, 1 and 5, minus 1 are saddle points. Saddle point. For now we are going to mention some things. So what we can say after this, that for point 4 comma 0, rt minus h square is greater than 0 and r is less than 0. Therefore point 4 comma 0 is a point of maxima. You have to mention so many things to get complete marks in your examination. After this, what you can say, local maxima value. For local maximum you can say maximum value, local maximum value of function is, what we can get the local maximum value, f of 4 comma 0 we will substitute. What we are going to get, 4 cube 3 into 4 into 0 square minus 15 into 4 square minus 15 into 0. We have to substitute in the first equation. 72 into 4 we are going to get 112, which is the maximum value. Now for point, we are going to repeat this. For point 6 comma 0, rt minus s square and r greater than 0 here, and point 6 comma 0 is a point of what? Point of minima. So local minimum. In case of maxima it is maximum value, and in case of minima it is minimum value. Minimum value of the function is, what is the value? F of 6 comma 0, which is 63 plus 3 into 6 into 0 square minus 15 into 6 square minus 15 into 0 square plus 72 into 6 is equals to 108. So this was our question. So we are done with this session, and in the next session we are going to do probably some more questions on the first order and second order derivative test for finding local maximum and minima. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next lecture.